that Jack Cater shit is real.
Yo, check this shit out, man.
Yo, go, give me a cigarette.
Yo, here you go. Check it out, man. Check out what I got here, man.
What is that? What's that?
Yo, it's what I got for my man Nas, man. He's home.
What up, kid? I know shit is rough doing your bid. When the cops came, you should've slid to my crib. Fuck it, black, no time for looking back, it's done. Plus, congratulations, you know you got a son. I heard he looks like ya. Why don't your lady write ya? Told her she should visit, that's when she got hyper. Flippin', talking about he acts too rough. He didn't listen, he be riffing while I'm telling him stuff. I was like, yeah, shorty don't care, she a snake too. Fucking with them niggas from that fake crew that hate you. But yo, guess who got shot in the dome piece? Jerome's niece, on her way home from Jones Beach is bugged. Plus Little Rob is selling drugs on the dime. Hanging out with young thugs that all carry nines. And nighttime is more tripe than ever. What up with Cormega? Did you see him or y'all together? If so, then hold a fort down. Represent to the fullest. Say what's up to Herb, Ice and Bullet. I left for $100 in your commissary. You was my nigga when push came to shove.
One what?
One love.
One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love.
Dear born, you'll be out soon, stay strong. Out in New York, the same shit is going on. The crackheads stalking, loud mouths is talking. Ho, check out the story yesterday when I was walking. That nigga you shot last year tried to appear like he hurt something. Word him up, I heard him frontin'. And he be pumping on your block. Your man gave him your Glock and now they run together. What up, son? Whatever. Since I'm on the streets, I'ma put it to a cease. But I heard you blew a nigga with an ox for the phone piece. Wildin' on the island, but now with Elmira, better chill, cause them niggas will put that ass on fire. Last time you wrote, you said they tried you in the showers. But maintain when you come home, the corner's hours on the reels. All these crap niggas know the deal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. But chill, see you on the next VI. I gave you my Duke's loot for kicks, plus sent your flicks. Your brother's buck wildin' in Fort Maine. He wrote me, he might be this case till he come home, I'm playing low key. So stay civilized, time flies, no incarcerated, your mind out. I hate it when your mom strives. It kinda makes me wanna murder, for real. I even got a mask and gloves to bust slugs, but one love.
One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love. One love.
Sometimes I sit back with a Buddha sack, minds in another world, thinking how can we exist through the facts written in school textbooks, Bibles, etc. Fuck a school lecture, the lies get me vexed up. So I be ghost from my projects. I take my pen and pad for the weekend, hitting nails while I'm sleeping. A 2-day stay, you may say I needed time alone to relax my dome. No phone left and not at home. You see the streets had me stressed, something terrible. Fucking with the corners, have a nigga up in Bellevue at HDM. Hit with numbers from 8 to 10. A future in a maximum state pen. It's grim, so I comes back home. Nobody's out but shorty do. I roll with two Phillies together in the bridge. We call them oops. He said Nas, niggas call me busting off the roof. So I wear a bulletproof, a pack of black Trey Deuce. He inhaled so deep, shut his eyes like he was asleep. Started coughing when I peeked to watch me speak. I sat back like the back, my army suit was black. We was chilling on these benches where he pumped his loose cracks. I took the L when he passed it. This little bastard keeps me blasted and starts talking mad shit. I had to school him, told him don't let niggas fool him. Cause when the pistol blows, the when it's murder be the cool one. Tough luck when niggas is struck, families fucked up. Could've caught your man but didn't look when you bucked up. Mistakes happen, so take heed, never bust up at the crowd. Catch him solo, make the right man bleed. Shorty's laugh was cold-blooded as he spoke so foul. Only 12 trying to tell me that he liked my style. Then I rose, wiping the blunt's ash from my clothes and froze. Only to blow the earth smoke through my nose and told my little man I'm a ghost, I rose. That's some jewels in the skull and he can sell if he chose. Words of wisdom from Nas, try to rise up above. Keep an eye out for Jake, shorty, wop, one love.
One love, one love, one love, one love. One love, one love, one love, one love. One love.
To all my niggas locked up.
love.
Hello everyone, my name is Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is April 10th, 2023. And a few things today. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, our Wyckoff analysis. We've we've done before a Wyckoff analysis of Bitcoin's accumulation, or what we believe to be Bitcoin's accumulation channel, a bear market accumulation channel. So we're going to continue or revisit that Wyckoff accumulation schematic and that analysis and see if indeed that entire thing is about to break out, okay? And based off of that analysis, I'm thinking that our $38,000 immediate target, or next target, right? $38,000 may be a bit too conservative, okay? So we're going to address that, right? I've actually, for my, short-term trades, I've removed my take profit of 38 just because it's just, it would feel terrible that after all of this waiting, that, the price just shoot up and hit a much higher target, and I'm like, I took profit way too early, I wouldn't want that. So what I'm going to do instead is just watch and wait and see what happens at 38, what happens a little bit below that, a little bit above that, or whatever, wherever the price ends. Then I'll just take profit manually on my short-term trades. So that's that. So this is Bitcoin. We're going to do that Wyckoff analysis. We're going to look at Bitcoin on a high time frame. As usual, we're going to look at Bitcoin on a small time frame, okay? Because on a small time frame, really interesting things are happening. As you can see, there has been a breakout quite recently. And that breakout was, more specifically, of this cup and handle right here. Whoops, let's redraw that. You can say it's a cup and handle. Ooh, I'm struggling here. Okay, and this is the neckline. So you see, for the past 4 days or so, if you can see, we've been accumulating, consolidating in this range right here. And this range, this 4-day range, has just now broken out, just a few moments ago. And it broke out, it retested it in 3, right? Which we expect. Retests any corrective patterns, corrective sequences are typically in 3 or flavors of 3. And that's the breakout, okay? So this is huge. Now, and this, I love this. This is precisely why I think 38,000 is a bit conservative. It's a bit too low. Look at this. So this range has been ranging for 4 days, right? And typically, what do people do? What do pattern traders do? What do most crypto traders do? They take the height of a pattern and they superimpose that from the side of breakout, and they say, well, that's going to be the target. Okay? So if you did that in this case, right, on the small time frame, and it's good because the small time frame price action, small time frame analysis shouldn't be any different than high time frame analysis, right? Good analysis is good analysis. It's fractal. You can apply it on the high time frame. You can apply it on the small time frames. So let's say we did that. We took the height. Let's say maybe that's not the height. Let's try again. Let's try for this point. This is probably the lowest point in that range. And one could say that this is the highest point of that range. We took that, we superimposed it from the side of breakout, and you see that's an immediate target. We did find a little bit of resistance there and quickly consolidated, very quickly consolidated there, but then we continued up, okay? So it's not wrong, it's not inaccurate, right? It was a point of resistance right here. Okay, let's try that again. Yes, it was a point of resistance here, but it wasn't the ultimate target of the pattern, right? This was some sort of reversal pattern. It was some sort of bullish reversal pattern. You broke out, you retested, you did hit the target, but you shouldn't have, if you were trading this on a small time frame, it would be, it would be, I don't want to be mean, but it would be a little foolish to take profit here. It would be way premature. As you can see, the retest. So once we hit this, we literally just came down for one candle or two candles, 1.5 candles, and then broke out. So a proper trade of this sequence right here on a small time frame would be to recognize that this is a reversal, bullish reversal consolidation that lasted 4 days. So even if you could take the height of this and superimpose it from the side of breakout, one shouldn't have taken profit there. Rather, they should have just let it run to the next significant resistance. Okay, so that actually works really well for what we're going to do towards the end of this analysis, right? We're going to look at the Wyckoff, and then we're going to talk about the next major target for Bitcoin. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So that's a small time frame. Right now, we're at 29.2, and we've broken really important resistance that we'd been under for quite some time. Yeah, look at this. Bitcoin has been in this range of price action for about 20 days, almost 20 days now, right? Boom, boom, boom. Consolidating. I actually have some new ideas as to what this was, but we can talk about that later. You can see that that's not a really good line. It's kind of like this, a little bit, okay? You broke that convincingly, okay? Or you can draw it straight, okay? You broke it convincingly, you retested it as support, you're off to the races. So you should then now be looking at much higher, okay? And one of the reasons I feel like we can look at much, much higher is the following, okay? It's not just a break of this tiny little resistance range that I just showed you on the 15-minute time frame, but it's a break of this entire thing, okay? This entire sequence or pattern that we've been in. I call it the bear market accumulation, okay? You come down, you draw down in the bear market, and then you absorb all of the supply over a number of, a fairly long period of time, right? This was specifically about 300 days of accumulation from this climax point all the way to the last point of supply, actually all the way to present day. It's about 300 days. 300 days of sideways choppy price action, okay? And now we're actually on the precipice of breaking this, okay? Some people will say, but Dean, we're at resistance. Yes, we've been at resistance, but understand that we'd hit this resistance that we're presently at right now, 29.2. We'd hit it back in March, okay? About a month ago, almost a month ago, okay? Less than a month ago, we hit it. And this consolidation that we've been in for the past 20 days or so has been consolidating at resistance, at this resistance right here, right under this order block, okay? And so breaking this, which we're doing right now, means a big break. It's not a little break, okay? And I know for the past few days, we've been talking about a massive inverse head and shoulders, okay? I'm going to show you that. I still have it here. Let's just zoom out for a second. By the way, for people who use TradingView, I don't know if you've noticed, but no longer is TradingView showing you the log scale, okay? It's YouTube crypto analysis is about to get a lot better. There's a lot of people who do not know or did not know how to accurately represent price action on their charts, high time frame price action on their charts by toggling the log scale. I think TradingView has decided to do it for you automatically, so you no longer have the option. So if you go on a really high time frame chart, it'll automatically log it for you. Okay, so that's good, I guess. So here we go. So if you see this, I don't know that I'm convinced that this is an inverse head and shoulders. Okay, obviously I've got the the graphic drawn out, so it looks good. But if this is my head, I don't know about that. It's possible, but it's possible that it's not necessarily that. Okay, it's possible that it's not necessarily that. It's also possible that it is, and 38K is still the next main target. But just like our small time frame analysis example on the 15-minute time frame that I just showed you, even if we stop at 38K, I do not believe that that stop is going to be a significant or drawn out, or it's not going to be a stop that takes forever. It might be just a quick, oh, we hit it, and now let's bounce off, and then let's continue. It might be one of those, okay? Because this is an inverse head and shoulders. It's not the cleanest inverse head and shoulders. I still think the target for this is 38K, right? Just measure it. It comes out to 38K. But again, if we look at this right here on the daily time frame, and we measure it, right? Let's just do it again. From the bottom to the top, superimposed from the side of breakout, right? It gives you our 38K target, but your 38K target ends up being in no man's land, right? This is essentially no man's land. I understand here, you've got some resistance here, the bottom of this this order block, the bottom of these wicks, right? That's your current or your previous resistance of 29 or 28.9 or whatever it was. Now you come into this zone, there's pretty much nothing. Because as you can see, like I tried to show how the strongest, if you had to find a strong level, it's this diagonal level right here. But it's not that strong because it's not well defined. So coming into 38 here, you're kind of in no man's land. There's a little bit of resistance here, a little bit of resistance here, a little bit of resistance here. It's kind of scattered throughout. But I'm not saying that there's anything here that's significantly clear enough resistance to say, okay, that's where the party stops. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, don't be surprised if 38K is indeed the target, but right after 38K, we do something like this, like really quickly, within one daily candle or one 4-hourly candle or whatever, just retrace and then continue on. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to delete this because I feel, based off of the larger time frame analysis, that once we get above this area right here, right, as designated, I think this was the strongest resistance, right, at 29K, right, judging by the bottom of these wicks and this order block, then it's pretty much, you know, a little bit of resistance here and there, but nothing at all comparable to what we just used 20 days to fight through. Okay, so that's my idea. Okay, and now let's go back to the Wyckoff accumulation. As you can see, I annotated it, and I'm showing the volume. It's very important to show volume when you're doing Wyckoff analysis, right? Because you want to, for instance, know that volume is high in this climax because you want a capitulative volume candle, right? And that's what you're getting here, okay? I think this is, the PS is the primary supply or something like that. In any case, I'm sorry, I'm not like a Wyckoff expert. So if I get some of the short names or the phases wrong, like please excuse the errors. But this area right here, excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Okay, so this area right here is basically forming the range. Okay, so this is where in the Wyckoff accumulation schematic, if you want to see, I have it up here somewhere. Here we go. So you set the range based off of this PS, okay? This, I think it's primary supply. Okay, I'm not exactly sure. You set the range. The top of the range is set by this PS, okay? And that's exactly what happened in Bitcoin here. This PS essentially set the top of our bear market accumulation range. Okay, thereabouts. So I would say something like this. Do you see that? So this is the top of the range, judging by Wyckoff accumulation schematic, and understand that also the schematic isn't like exactly what needs to happen one-to-one, you know, bar for bar. It's not that. It's just representative of a pattern to illustrate a general schematic, a general pattern that price can exhibit in these accumulation schematics. Yeah, so you're setting the top of the range here with this order block, with this move, and that's exactly what we're breaking right now. And that's exactly where you have your sign of strength, your ultimate sign of strength, which we have here. As you can see, the SOS is the last point of resistance before leaving the range and going into phase E. That's full impulse. That means you're leaving this is the beginning of the bull market, by the way, okay? If you want to be really technical about it, this is the beginning of the bull market. It just doesn't seem like it's the beginning of the bull market because you're still within the confines of this bear market accumulation. So you go up and you put in this last point of supply, I think. Last point of supply, LPS. And there could be multiple LPSs. This is another LPS, as I understand. And then, of course, a sign of strength, which is the last resistance. And that's what's happening right now. This is how important this breakout is. It is the last breakout of this entire range, okay? And so this is also why I'm questioning my earlier target of 38, because the magnitude of this breakout cannot be understated. If we break out of this, which we're doing right now, that means it's not just that we're no longer in a bear market, it's that we're no longer constrained by the resistances of the bear market. Until now, every move that we've done that's been bullish has been within the confines of bear market resistance. So I can understand why certain people say it's still not a bull market, it's still not confirmed bull market, or we're still in the bear market. I can understand that because it still feels like a bear market, just based off, very simply, the idea that we're in the confines of the bear market. We're still trading where the bear market accumulation happened. But after today, we will no longer be able to say this. And this is another reason why when people say we're coming back to 25K, I think it's unlikely, given, one, that we're breaking such strong resistance and going to retest it as support if we haven't already. Like, this whole thing wasn't easy to break through, right? You can see, you come up, you retest. You come up, you consolidate, you retest. Like, these consolidations, these retests took a long time, specifically 32 days on this one, 20 days on this one, 52 days in all, right? Ever since, even you could say, we entered the bull market and we started from January 1, started going up impulsively. Because we're in the bear market, these moves have been muted. We're in the bear market accumulation channel. These moves have been muted. They've been stifled and stymied by all of this resistance, okay? So, this is my read on it. So I think, based off of that, this perspective that the Wyckoff analysis provides, I think we gotta just look and see things a little. We have to think bigger. I think it's dangerous to think in such limited terms that, oh, this is a tiny little inverse head and shoulders, this breaks out, 38K is where you take profit. No. I'm not doing that. And I'm gonna check again that I've truly removed my take profits. But even your short-term take profits, I think people are going to be kicking themselves. Let me say this. People are going to be kicking themselves for taking profit at 30 and 32K. A lot of people are talking about taking profit at 30 and 32K. Some people are taking profit at 38K, right? Very few people are saying that, but some people are also saying, like me, 38K, because I think that's a clear technical target of the inverse head and shoulders. I think all of those are too low, okay? I think what we're going to do, if this is correct, if we are indeed leaving this Wyckoff accumulation, this 300-day accumulation, I think the next significant resistance is all the way the hell up here. Okay? And why? Two reasons. One, if you take the height of this entire range, let's say it's, this is a bear market accumulation range, and you go up, you go to 53, okay? So let's just say 53 tentatively is a realistic target, right, for whatever this range is, because if you break out of a range, what happens? You typically target the height of the range, okay? But then the other idea is the next target is simply your previous all-time high where you found resistance in the chart last, which is this area right here, okay? So if I wanted to conservatively look at, okay, where could Bitcoin realistically find resistance and where I wouldn't consider it a premature take profit, it would be between 53 and, what is this? Between 53 and 60K. I would say 53 and 60K. I would say that's a conservative take profit, where after which, okay, I could expect some sort of retracement. But I don't think people are really prepared for what is going to happen after this. I'm going to repeat this. I've removed all my short-term take profits. And again, even though I understand that we need to let the bull run take its course, right? Run its course, and I'm not looking to take profit anytime soon on most of my positions. I also do have some short-term positions that I'm taking profit on because this is what I do. This is my only occupation, right? So I need to take profit to pay bills and to live. So that's why I have short-term take profits. But even with that being said, I think it's not too wise to play this short, or to short change, or to underestimate this breakout. This breakout may very well go all the way to all-time high or thereabouts before finding some resistance. Okay, I don't think that is too crazy. Okay, and what would that be? What would that be? Let's just think about this, like, logically. Okay, from here all the way to this area of all-time high, it's 105%. It's 100% move. Okay, it's 125% move. Okay, now let's look at something like Ethereum. What's Ethereum's next realistic take profit? Okay, so this is the Ethereum chart, and Ethereum's also breaking out of this big inverse, or sorry, not an inverse head and shoulders. It's a cup and handle pattern. Okay, this cup and handle pattern. Okay, let's just put a neckline for this cup and handle pattern. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. So a neckline for this cup and handle pattern would probably be like right here. Okay, and so a target for this cup and handle would be the height of the handle or the cup or whatever's deepest, which is the handle right here, okay, superimposed from the neckline, which would be the site of breakout, which we're at right now, and that would be approximately 4,200, okay, and again, that's basically at your all-time high. Do you see how that is consistent with what with our Bitcoin analysis, right? With our most recent Bitcoin analysis, and the percentage of that is 120, 130%. So why would everybody expect Bitcoin? Let's go back to Bitcoin now. So my question is, for people who think I'm being, and I'm not saying that you guys do, but if some people think that this is way too bullish or unrealistic, why would you expect Ethereum to do 130%, just as an example, and yet you would only expect Bitcoin to go up, what, 10%, because a lot of people think 30 to 32K, 5 to 10%, or, right, for people that have been a little more bullish, 35%, right, 30 to 33% for 38K. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to see other altcoins and what they look like, and why that 150% move is pretty much what we should be looking for a lot of these projects. Okay, so Nice Hash says 37 to 48K incoming, then higher. Yeah, I mean, look, I do think that 38K is going to find or going to show some sort of response, but it's not going to be the kind of response where you want to take profit at, right? Just like I was saying, and I agree, 37 to 48K, definitely you're going to see a response in the price, but I think it's going to be one of those things that lasts just a few hours at most, perhaps, and then you just continue. Yeah, so I think that will get everybody's attention, especially when we promptly make all-time highs, or near or reach all-time highs, right? People who are bearish have been saying 10K Bitcoin, 12K Bitcoin. You know, you'd be surprised. They're still out there, you know, championing those views, even as ridiculous as they may seem at this point, right? Like, I think this is so much more in play than people think. This is so much more in play than people think. Just boom. Like, that is very realistic. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at some other examples in the altcoin space. We're going to look at it on the daily time frame and see how, yeah, that 100, 150, you know, new all-time high, or, you know, pretty much the old all-time high is a very likely scenario. And it makes sense. Just logically speaking, you're distributing from all-time highs. You go down, you know, what, 61.8%, right? You accumulate, and you come back to all-time high. That's your next logical resistance. Think about this not on the daily time frame, but on the small time frame, 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame. Let's say you're intraday scalping, right? You're trading like that. Like, that's exactly where you would take profit. No sooner than that, right? You would take profit here. You would expect at this point to have a sort of a move down, and then another move. And I mean, this is perfect. Look at this. So let's do that again. This would be your left shoulder. All this would be your head. This would be your right shoulder coming all the way up here, right? And this 1, 2, 3, and then a matriculation back up is your right shoulder. Do you see, like, when we're bullish, when you're bearish, essentially you're just putting in a successive, repetitive, consecutive manner bullish patterns. If you're bearish, you're putting in successively bearish patterns. Small time frame bearish patterns, larger time frame bearish patterns. If you're bullish, small time frame bullish patterns, larger time frame bullish patterns. So you could say that this is indeed an inverse head and shoulders, which breaks out to 38K, which then in turn breaks out into another larger bullish pattern, right? But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you're just seeing bullish patterns after bullish patterns after bullish patterns, and it's a chain reaction of them in that bullish trend. So I really do see that happening. I feel like this is coming sooner than later because, like I said, the resistances here they're present, but they're not what we think. And also the indicators echo that. The indicator, the indicators. Let's just see the VRVP, the visible range volume profile, horizontal volume indicator. Basically shows you where most of the assets been bought and sold. And you can see here, massive volume. This is where you did all your 300 days of accumulation. And then a gap, okay? And then up here, there's some volume, but it's considerably less. And actually, look at where it's peaked. Look at that. The peak of this area is at 38K. Do you see that? Like, so this is a great example of using indicators corroboratively. If you're going to be an indicator trader and over-rely on indicators, you're going to have a tough go at it. Technical analysis, trading is hard enough as it is, but handicapping yourself by not being able to read price action or refusing to do so and only relying on indicators is tough, okay? But you can see our visible range volume profile shows us that 38K, as NiceHash says, is indeed where you can expect the price to have a pit stop at next. Okay, so I would not be surprised if we came up here, we put something quick in, and then we continued. Okay, how fast is that going to happen? I don't really know, but I don't think it's going to take too long in my estimation, just judging by the amount of resistance that you see in this area. So that would be my move right there. 38 down, up, and then from here, that's where I can expect a proper, this is where I think you're going to take a little time, because you're going to come back and reverse all of this, I think, or not reverse, but correct all of this in 3 waves. Okay, and that's going to take some time perhaps, and interestingly enough, you're finding your way back into this trading channel. So let me zoom out so that people can have an idea of what this channel is. If you zoom out, you can see on the high time frame, Bitcoin, for its, for years and years, for almost a decade, has been trading in this channel. Okay, and you broke down from this channel. Let's actually remove all that. I think we made the point. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, we made the point here with the Wyckoff analysis. So you see here, you jumped, you dipped out of this channel. So you're coming right back in. And look, actually, the support of the channel had been resistance, right? Because you broke it. Okay, this is why I do this analysis. It's not because YouTube pays me. It's not because I have it funds my GoFundMe or whatever. What do people use? Patreon or whatever. I don't have any courses to sell. It's just I get ideas when I do this live with you all that I didn't get prior. Okay, let's turn off the VPVR. We already made that point. Okay, 38 is definitely going to be a point of reaction. Okay, we know that it's the target of the inverse head and shoulders that we've been showing, and that's where our VRVP, VPVR, whatever you want to call it, shows the biggest node. But look at this. So this channel that Bitcoin's been trading in since May of 2013, okay, for literally 10 years, okay, was broken in this bear market right here. Okay, you came down You were holding and you broke it. Not many people foresaw that, okay? And that's probably how people, it coincides with people saying we never dipped below the 200 moving average or something like that. I don't use the 200 moving average, but I could imagine that was consistent with that break, okay? Breakdown of Bitcoin from a 10-year level of support, okay? But it didn't break and reject. It broke and now it's reclaiming. And why have we spent 20 days at this resistance that has seemed, 20 days isn't that much, honestly, but I mean, in the scheme of everything, yes, it is a lot. 20 days just for what seems to be some little order block. It's not just that order block. People think, oh, this is the resistance that's keeping Bitcoin under. No, it's not. It's this 10-year resistance. And I've just now seen this. This 10-year resistance of this channel that Bitcoin has been in for 10 years now is resistance, and it's finally going to be reclaimed. So when we reclaim it, just imagine the kind of relief the price action will feel. This is why I'm saying, like, people are going to be kicking themselves for setting take profits at 30 and 32K. Kicking themselves. Because you're literally breaking 10 years of resistance back into a 10-year resistance channel, and now it'll be your new support again. And this is another reason why anything below this, unlikely that we revisit. Very, very unlikely. You know, people talking about 25K or something like that, understand what that means. You spent 20 days breaking back into this 10-year channel. Actually, it was more than 20 days. Because if you look at it, once you came up here, you spent 32 days coming up, you spent 32 days coming down. That was the first part of breaking back in this channel. Then coming up again, and then spending 20 days at the resistance, consolidating at the resistance. Now you break back into it, you fly. You fly. This is why you're going to fly once this is broken back into. Okay? So I'm not setting any take profit until this region. Okay? And I don't know if even I don't even know that the all-time high is where you want to set your take profit. It may be up here at this level right here. For those of you who don't know what this is, let's zoom out for a second. This parabolic resistance has proven, legitimate resistance for Bitcoin ever since its inception. So ever since it's come into our lives, right? Since 2010, you've never traded above this parabolic resistance, okay? So on this chart, not only do you have this parabolic resistance, call it a 12 plus year parabolic resistance over here, but you also have the midline of this whole channel, this 10-year channel right here. So where these meet, okay, you're going to find resistance. So maybe the next good take profit for Bitcoin is not necessarily all-time high, but it's all the way the hell up here. Okay? I think the trap is this, and I've fallen into this trap. Let's take volume off because we don't really need volume. But let's make one quick point about volume. Do you see how volume has been tailing off here? Volume tails off for two reasons. One, you're making a move that is inconsistent with the move that price wants to make. Okay? So basically, volume's showing you some divergence because it really wants to go down. Okay? That's one reason volume is going down in an up move. You have volume divergence. The other reason is you're consolidating. Okay? So volume goes down in consolidation. Right? You're basically absorbing supply in a bullish trend, so volume decreases. the longer that absorption, that consolidation takes place. Okay, I know a lot of people only know one reason for why volume goes down, and they fall into a trap. A lot of people are probably looking at this, if you're bearish, and thinking, oh, it's going up, volume's going down, this is going to come back down. Okay, no. Remember, consolidation, volume going down in consolidation is good, right? Wyckoff explains this quite clearly. It means that supply is being absorbed, okay? And then what you're going to see happen is volume is going to shoot up once it breaks. So this is one thing you want to watch out for. I don't really use volume that much on this channel. One of the reasons is I really need it. It doesn't really give me an edge, because it's kind of, I knew this already, and it's not showing me anything different. I think a lot of times I can just read price action and I can have a good idea as to what's going on. I don't need volume to confirm it for me. In any case, for those of you watching volume, do expect once we break this 10-year level of resistance, the bottom of this channel, we break back into this channel, volume then shoot up. Okay? Because, there's a saying, volume is low until it's not. So you can use volume and think you're smarter than the average bear and say, oh, I know where it's going. But then once it actually breaks that resistance and volume pops in, then your whole sort of theory about that being a bull trap or a bear rally, it falls through. Okay, so that's volume. Anyway, my point was, and I haven't forgotten it, just hold on one second. Let me get rid of volume. Okay, so my point is this. I would refrain from looking at this as a pattern that just has a target and then that target is it. This is a reversal, a wholesale reversal that is more than just the immediate target, right? It's a wholesale reversal that is a continuation. It is a reintroduction of the bullish trend back into this asset. Okay, so I would look at this accordingly, and I would set my targets accordingly. So let me just say this. Given everything that's been said up until now in the live stream, I'm going to be bold and say we may not see another major correction in Bitcoin before 6 figures. When I say major, I mean a correction that's taking 32 days, 20 days, something like that. Okay? I would not be surprised if this was your first wave and it went impulsively. Just boom, 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 boom. Impulsive. And then you hit this target right here. Then you put in your 3 waves down. Okay? And that will take just as long as the 5 waves up. Okay? How long will these 5 waves up take? I don't know. It could be a few days. Yes, I said that correctly. We're at 29,183 right now on this chart. It's possible. Everything's possible. It's probable that in a few days' time, or a week time, in a week and a half, I'm not exactly sure of the time frame, but very soon, that the price of Bitcoin is well into 6 figures. It's well into 6 figures. And let me say this. We're in April. This would be consistent with our higher time frame analysis of seeing Bitcoin at 7 figures by the end of this run. Okay? And this run isn't meant to take that long. Okay? This run isn't meant to take that long. Given that we have yet to come back down, and we're likely to come back down towards the next halving. Okay? So that's the higher time frame thesis, and yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So I've removed my take profits, even in my short-term plays, for that reason. Okay. Let's look. So I think we've made that point. We've made the Wyckoff point. We've talked about how we're going into phase E. We're probably in a sign of strength. Everything's matching up. Once again, I know I erased it, but just look at this pattern and then look at what we've been dealing with. Okay, and you can kind of see it. I don't think it's that hard or that mysterious. And I think other analysts have made this point, right? I think it's the primary supply here, right? And then your automatic rally or automatic reaction, and then your secondary test down here, this is one secondary test, this is another secondary test, and then this is last point of supply right here, and then this is your sign of strength before your big breakout. That's what's happening right now. The people who are going to fare the worst are people not people that don't think we're going up, but the people that are thinking we're going down. People that are short are going to be destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Everybody, all of the range traders, it could go up or down. Let's trade long and short people who are in shorts and like to take head shorts are going to be destroyed. Okay, they're going to be destroyed because they're going to try to get cute and see, oh, this is 30K is going to be resistance. Let's jump in a short there. Price is going to quickly recapture the level because guys, this is what I said before. Once we get back into this 10-year resistance level and we break back into this area and we break this bear market accumulation area, it's going to feel different. Price is going to move differently. That's how we can get into 6 figures in Bitcoin in just a few days. It's going to feel differently. Do not be surprised if that happens. I think that's a highly probable move, especially given the fact that we're in April and we're still at 29K. And our targets were for May, June at the latest for the end of the bull run. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the DXY. Okay. So the DXY did something I wasn't expecting it would do because I had this channel looking a little differently. Okay. I had it like this before. Okay. I thought this was my A wave. This was my B wave. This was my C wave. And this was my breakdown. This was my retest. Then I was going to go down here. That wasn't right. And, price action shows you what's going on. So that invalidated that. I looked at it this morning. I was like, oh, actually, my channel needs to be slanted. And this is my A wave. All of this is my B wave. And then this is my impulse. And now I'm at the top of my channel. And now this is distribution. And then it's likely that we drop from here. Okay. So just update on what the DXY is doing. In any case, the idea is we had just put in the last wave because the last wave of any corrective sequence is impulsive. And so after that, the entire sequence is finished. We can expect then the DXY to finally break down of this area. And remember, this area is crucial. This area is very, very important because it's not just this 20-day channel, but it represents on a very high time frame very, very important support. Okay, and that is this support right here that you can see quite clearly. Right, you're losing when you lose this. When you ultimately lose this level in the DXY, you're losing about 300 days. Just like Bitcoin's breaking out of a 300-day bear market accumulation, the DXY, not surprisingly, is breaking down from a 300-day bull market distribution. Okay? They're mere opposites. Bitcoin and crypto, bear market accumulation. The DXY, bull market distribution. Opposite sides of the spectrum. Breaking down. Boom. And this is... Look at this. Let's clean that up. The height of this head and shoulders is more or less our target. right? This is where we expect. I'm starting to pay attention at this blue box, but then this is where I expect the DXY to end up when it's all said and done, around 93, okay? This analysis has been in for months. If you guys follow my work, you know we've been looking for the DXY to break down for months and months. We've tracked it, right, on its way up and tracked it coming down. We called the top right here, and we've been tracking it on its way down ever since. And this is actually when the party starts. This was nice, but this is when the party starts. Okay, so that's the DXY. Are altcoins going to move up against Bitcoin? Let's check Bitcoin dominance really quickly. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Bitcoin dominance shot up. Okay, it came back in our range. Okay, we thought this range was finished. Not yet. Okay, we've been in this range for quite some time. On a higher time frame, this is big resistance. Okay, this is resistance that we've been in for the past 3 years. So we're not expecting for this channel to break, but we are at a smaller time frame distribution, or what looks like a smaller time frame distribution. So let's go back into this. And we can see here, it's very likely that this is the final move, okay? The final move of every corrective sequence, of every consolidation, is always impulsive, okay? So you have here what clearly is an impulse. And why do we know with a high degree of probability that you're coming down? Well, you have strong bearish divergence. What's that? Here you have a top. Here you have another top. Here you have a top. Here you have another top. Your top makes a higher high here, and it makes an even high in the stochastic RSI. That's strong confirmed bearish divergence. You're likely coming back down. So our thesis of this channel of price action being distributed should be confirmed, because we're at the top of it. We have strong bearish divergence. We're looking for a move down. What does that mean? Bitcoin dominance comes down. That means altcoins are going to gain against Bitcoin in market cap. So at this point, what we should do, what we can do at this point in the live stream, is just have a look at different altcoins, what they're doing, where we expect for them to go. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. If there are any altcoins that you want me to have a look at, definitely put them in the chat, and we'll have a quick look. Okay, so Bitcoin we looked at, we talked about extensively. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by the next move, okay? And I think the chart to really pay attention to is this higher time frame chart, because as I said before, breaking back into this channel, this 10-year channel, this is 10 years of resistance, okay? Because it was 10 years of support. We lost it back in August of 2022. We're regaining it now. 10 years of resistance broken back into, you fly, okay? That is going to be very cool. And I think a lot of people are going to be shocked by how Bitcoin moves once we get back into that area. So keep an eye out on the higher time frames for what Bitcoin's doing, just to get an idea for what it's likely, how it's likely to move. Okay, you fall prey to small time frame, and I think even the daily is small time frame. Too many people, myself included, were too focused on the smaller time frames, and what this will do is an inverse head and shoulders, and this is popping out, giving you 38K. That's not what you should be looking at. That should not be your take profit targets, for the reasons I stated earlier in the stream. Okay, Cardano, similar to Bitcoin, I think the next major resistance has got to be up here. Okay, it's got to be all the way up here for the graphical reasons I just illustrated, okay? And that move in Cardano is about 81.2% or 81.7%. Yeah, I like that. It's about 80% from here. I think that's I think that makes sense. Let me do something else. Let me quickly take a Fibonacci extension of this wave and retracement of that wave. Hey, what do you know? Guys, did you see that? Look at that. This is a very likely zone of resistance, next major resistance for Cardano. Highly likely. So what I just do? So I looked at the chart and I said, okay, where's the next likely significant resistance for Cardano? Okay, I see very clearly this head and shoulders broke down at this point, okay? And so, you know, the breakdown of this in the bear market gives you this target right here, almost to the penny, okay? So I guess, you know, if we were trading Cardano, we should have known that this clearly broke down and would give you that target right there, okay? But now that the target's been reached, that breakdown is finished, now you come back up to the scene of the crime, okay? You come back to the neckline of this head and shoulders, which is back up here. And I thought to myself, you know what? Just in case, I want to take the Fibonacci extension of this wave and then the retracement of this wave, because for me, this looks like a wave 1, wave 2 situation. It takes about the same time to come up as it did to come down. Okay, maybe if it's a wave 1, wave 2 situation, if that's the case, wave 3, we could expect at the 1618, the phi ratio of that wave 1 retracement of wave 2, and it's exactly where this line meets. That, my friends, is confluence. Cardano, highly likely that your next major resistance is 71 cents. Okay? 71 cents. Am I taking profit there? Hell no. I do not need to. I'm seeing much higher because it's likely to go much higher, okay? I'm likely to go much higher. But I think that just in this initial foray, 71, 72 cents is where we could expect Cardano to have some resistance next, you know, go into a, you know, a significant sort of consolidation at between 71 and 72 cents, which is 82% from here, okay? But that's a big breakout coming, okay? Algorand, big breakout coming. That alarm is just for me to know where to put my stops in profit so it's a free trade, okay? Algorand, next major resistance. Again, you have these M patterns breaking down, and this is something for us to remember next time we encounter a bear market. Look at the distributions. The height of these bearish patterns are almost to the penny met. The targets, the technical targets of these bearish patterns are met almost to the penny, okay? And from here, you come back to the scene of the crime. That's my next major resistance, around 71.6 cents for Algorand, okay? It's basically the neckline of this bearish pattern, right? It makes sense. And that from here is about 212% away, okay? So that's my next major resistance for Algorand. So I do expect price to run for 212% to the upside until it reaches that point before putting in probably a wave 2, because I think that's going to be a wave 1, wave 2 situation coming up, okay? Quickly, let me just go back to Bitcoin really quickly. And I think we have the same. So Bitcoin's ahead. Okay, so look, guys. This is exactly what happened in Bitcoin. Okay, you had this M pattern, okay, breakdown. You had this breakdown of this M pattern, and the height of this M pattern gave you the target, the bottom target of Bitcoin. Don't let people ever tell you that it's impossible to know where, you know, the low could be or what something could be. Like, the chart tells you everything. If you're able to read the chart properly, everything's there. The information is there. It's not always, you're not always reading it properly, but it's not impossible to be able to determine. If you had the presence of mind to see this M pattern, and this to take, and I'm sure people have done it. Take the target of the M pattern. I think I even talked about it. Take the target of the M pattern, superimpose it from the neckline of this M pattern. You would have known that the bottom the bottom target for Bitcoin was 16K. Now, would you have known how it reached that? Would you have known that it hit 17K and then went up a lot and then came back down to 16K? Maybe not. But when it was all said and done, with a high degree of probability, you would have known 16K was the target because you took the height of this pattern, okay? And this pattern played out. And now, from the bottom, where did we go? Where was the next major resistance? Right at the neckline of this M top. So Bitcoin's a step ahead, as usual, in getting out of the bear market. It's a step ahead of all of these other assets. So now Bitcoin's now has reached the end or the neckline of its breakdown pattern, of its bearish breakdown pattern, and now it's breaking back above it. Okay, that's the next step. Most altcoins aren't there yet. Okay, we just looked at Algorand. Let's look at Arweave. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Arweave, I think the next major resistance is quite clearly the top of this channel right here. Okay, the top of this channel, which is about 43%. Okay, and at that point, I expect some consolidation at resistance, breakout, retest, and then a continuation. Okay, now see, everything's a little bit different. Not everything's on the same timeline or in the same phase of its development out of the bear market. As you can see, it doesn't matter if it's a small cap, medium cap, or large cap. Things are at different phases. So just keep that in mind when you're trading. Okay, BAT, or basic attention token. So again, you see the breakdown of this M pattern. Maybe it was here. It's hard to sometimes get these necklines. Okay, I think this one's more. This one's a better neckline right here. Okay, something like this. Breakdown of the neckline. Something like that would yield the bear market bottom. And after you get the bear market bottom, you break back up, and your next main target is going to be the bear market, or sorry, the neckline of that bearish pattern that led to the bear market bottom. So from here, I think basic attention token puts in about 230% to target the breakdown of, to target the scene of the crime, as it were. I hope that makes sense. This is technical analysis. This is a beauty of technical analysis. This is why we do it. It's consistent, and it yields amazing results. People who think that this is all by chance or there's no truth to this, this is why they're out-traded consistently. There's no way that I'm doing what I'm doing without technical analysis. Let me just say, my position size is so large, I don't even want to talk about it. My position size is so large, I don't even want to talk about it. I know a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers talk about how big their trades are, how much money they're making. Like, I'm preparing to make so much, I don't even want to talk about how much I'm making. Okay? Because it's like, there's no point. There's no point. I don't need to brag about it. And I don't want to draw unwanted attention to myself. But the idea is, this stuff works. If you learn it, it can work for you really, really well. Okay, so that's basic attention token. I like that we're finally looking on the daily time frame because we're in impulse and we don't have to worry about uh, little retracements here and there. We could just look big picture. Blur is a new asset. So, as I've been saying, this is not something that you have much. There aren't many signposts for where it's going. So it's just going to go up, and it's essentially in what we call price discovery. So you just have to wait and see. You have to wait and see, right? It could just as well as put in a 400, 500, 600% move. Who knows? Just wait and see. That's why I'm really excited about this and others like it. Bonk, same. It's a very new asset. It's probably going to put in ridiculous gains from here. Who knows where it stops? Who knows? Okay. Dent, again, that's an alarm for me. That's not like my next main resistance. It's just an alarm for me to tell me to put my stops into profit. For Dent, okay, similar to the other examples I've just shown, I think what you do here, let's see. This is, maybe it was like this. Okay. Yeah, I think it was like this. Let's see. Did this hit its target? I'm curious now. This is giving me ideas for the next bear market. I'm like, okay, I'm going to play the bear market so much better. It's almost going to be like cheating. Okay, see, look, this came a little. Do you see how if you took the neckline of this move and you superimpose it from the side of breakout, you get close to where you came down and bottomed out, but you didn't come all the way, but you came close. This is a very good approximation of how things break down in the bear market, right? Just doing pattern analysis. Elliott wave theory will tell you, it will give you a good idea of what it's going to look like, and you can count waves and stuff like that, but this pattern analysis will give you price targets like none other, I think. Okay, in any case, you came down here, your next target, your next main resistance is going to once again be up here at this level. Okay, so if we extend this line, I think this is a safe place to say we're going to experience significant resistance at. So for Dent, this is a small cap altcoin. It's gonna probably do 900% from here. Okay, that shouldn't shock people, just because that's what the patterns say. That's what the charts say. Okay, Dodo. Again, that's my alarm to tell me when to put my stops into profit. Do I have enough information? I don't have too much information here. But I will say this. I do have a significant level of resistance here that I would say is a likely next significant resistance for the price, which is about 300% up. Okay, that's for Dodo. Dogecoin. Everybody thought this rally was over. Everybody thought, oh, this is just, Elon Musk doing this and that. No, this is going to continue to go up much, much, much higher. Okay, for Dogecoin, I see this as being the neckline right here. Okay, and this is the height of the bearish pattern right here, superimposed from the side of breakdown. Once again, you get close to the bottom target. Okay, not exactly, and that again is based off of where you put your neckline. Okay, so I'm just doing this approximately. So this is my breakdown, and so my break back up is likely going to meet some resistance at the neckline, of the breakdown, which is from here about 90% up. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if Dogecoin got a 90% move to the upside from here. Okay, Polkadot. Again, the analysis would be the same. I would try to identify a neckline, take the height of the M pattern breakdown, superimpose that from the site of breakdown, and almost exactly you're given, right? Imagine if you were to do this, early on, and you had the presence of mind, the foresight to do this, you could basically wait out the entire bear market and set limit orders for buys at these targets, right? And buy the bottom of the bear market. Just because you know about technical analysis, good technical analysis, and you've done it before, you've seen it before, you've seen it in many examples. So next time the bear market comes, a lot of people are probably going to do that. A lot of people already did do that. Not everybody that trades has a platform and that about. They're not all big YouTubers. Like I said, I'm probably going to outtrade most other traders in crypto, but I don't have much of a platform at all, and I like it that way. I don't need everybody to know just how well I did. If it breaks down, it's probably going to come back to the scene of the crime for DOT. That is all the way up here at around 153%. Okay, so that's Polkadot. Whoops. Let's see. Okay, moving on. DYDX. Okay, this is just like we saw in Bitcoin. This is an example of a sign of strength. Yeah, you have this accumulation channel. You come up. This is the last point of supply. Okay, or what would this be? The last point of supply, and then you have some sort of triangle accumulation, consolidation right at the neckline of the entire accumulation zone, and then a breakout. Again, that alarm is just for me to put my stops into profit, right? But so for DYDX, I would say tentatively, I'm not exactly sure, but tentatively, I don't know. There's not enough historical information to say where the next major resistance is. So for this, I would just treat it like Blur, like Bonk. I'm just going to treat it like it's in price discovery at this point, because there's no clear a major resistance level on the way up. Okay, so ETH, we talked about ETH, right? I think that is quite clear right here. Let's see. Okay, I think this is your neckline that you broke down from. Let's say this is the height. And okay, so look, you see you're getting the bottom of the bear market with these targets. Getting the bottom of the bear market. Maybe we can put that down here. You're literally getting the bottom of the bear market with these targets. I think ETH comes back to the scene of the crime here. So all the way up, depending on when it hits this, right? Approximately 80% of the way, something like that. But this is kind of like Bitcoin. Okay, let me say this. This is kind of like Bitcoin in that I know there's going to be some resistance in this area. Okay? I know there's going to be resistance in this area, but I don't know that the resistance is going to be strong enough for me to say, at this point, it's going to be, just like in Bitcoin, I deleted those diagonal lines because there's no strong level that's convincingly strong enough to say that is a good take profit area, because once we hit that, by hook or by crook, we're going to retrace, we're going to consolidate. There is none. For ETH, I think I would want to go on a higher time frame. So let's just do that real quick. Let's go into our master plan. Let's go on the weekly. Okay, let's channel this. Let's see if there's a channel kind of like in Bitcoin. It's kind of tough to say. Yeah, this is tough. Okay, I think the channel looks like this. Okay, I think the channel looks like this. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, this is the top of the channel. This is the bottom of the channel. The midline of the channel has proven to be resistance because it's the midline. Once you're under the midline, it's resistance. Once you're above it, it's support. You came back to the bottom of the channel and you slightly broke the bottom. Okay, so I think Ethereum is showing you something Bitcoin is showing you. It broke the bottom of a... How long is that? Okay, let's try this again. Tell me in years. Let's see. Let me just do that in my head. Divided by 3. Yeah, that's about 9 years. 9 years, 8 to 9 year channel. Okay. So Ethereum broke the bottom of an 8 to 9 year channel here. And it's got to break back into it. That's what's happening right here. So this is going to take it's not going to take too long, but it's going to be a little slow as that happens. The next major resistance, okay, or the next significant resistance for ETH is going to be the midline of this channel, all the way up here. Okay. That's probably going to be the end of the bull run for ETH at the top of this channel right here. Either it's the end of the bull run or it's the next significant resistance. Let's just call it that. I could see a quick, strong wave being put in here, and then a quick resistance. So if I want to take profit on ETH, I'm probably making this. I'm probably going to do this. I'm going to do this. Where's the line tool? Let me see if I can do this. I don't even know if I can do this. I think I can do this. I want to put a line here at the midline because I want that to be an indication. Yeah. Take profit on ETH. I want that to be an indication for the next major resistance for ETH. All the way up here. How long is that? Or how high up is that? Let's see. Yeah, that seems like the... That seems to me like the end of this bull run. I want to say that. That seems to me like the end of this bull run. And that the next... Okay, so that's like the next major resistance. But the next kind of one that we should probably be looking at is right here. This top, this top, this top. Right here. So let's just do that. And let's change this to a dashed line. And let's change it also to end of bull market for ETH. End of bull market for ETH. Okay. But the next one I want to take profit on is probably up here. So basically all-time highs, this all-time high trend line, which is about 286%, which is consistent with what you've seen throughout, right? We've been looking at anything from 80% to 500%. One of them was 800%. I think Dent was. But that's realistic, and that trend line is true in that you have 1, 2, 3 data points. So I could see that. I can see that for sure. Yeah, and I think after that, you get a significant 1, 2, 3 move before continuation. So I would not be surprised if Ethereum gave you this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the end of the bull market up here. Okay, this is the power of high time frame analysis. You can't look on the 5-minute chart and see these kinds of trends, and this is really where you make your money. You make your money slowly with the synoptic high time frame, 50,000 foot view. You don't take profit too early because you see where things are likely to go. You don't know for sure, but you see the likelihood of putting in a wave like this, right? Let's just put in a wave. A wave like this, right? You see that likelihood. Let's make this longer. And I don't think this takes too long because this is pure impulse right here. Okay? Whatever this is going to be is going to be pure impulse. So it's going to be quick, relatively speaking. Won't be surprised if this is what the Ethereum bull market looks like, and it ends up here around 65, 70K, something like that, right? Like, that is very, very, very probable. Okay. I'm just looking at my other counts and trying to make sense of it. Let's see. What would that mean for my primary count? Let's see. Interesting. Okay, so basically what I'm showing is that based off of this smaller time frame analysis, my higher time frame analysis would give me this primary wave 1, primary wave 2, basically means primary wave 3 is going to be a truncated wave 3. Or, yeah, relatively truncated. It's basically a kind of a leading diagonal. Okay, which would make sense because Ethereum loves to put in extensions in wave 5. So that really interests me. That really is interesting. Again, I love how a lot of this stuff comes, I love how a lot of these insights come out during the live stream. I did not see this prior to going live. And another thing I'll say is this. If this is true, if this is accurate, Ethereum is a great store of value for the next couple years. It's a great store of value. You should not see too much fluctuation in the price of Ethereum. Why? Because if this is primary wave 1, primary wave 2, and we put in a primary wave 3 and find resistance at the midline of this 8, 9 year, 10 year channel, wave 4 is going to pretty much be a tight consolidation right below it. So remember we talked about consolidating at resistance? Wave 4 is going to be one of those things. Consolidating at resistance. So the price of ETH is going to be coiling up for a big move. So it's actually going to be a really smart investment for the next couple years, and not only to beat out inflation, but also to store wealth. Ethereum. Is Bitcoin going to do that? I don't know that that's true. I think you're going to see a lot more. I think you're going to see a lot more variation in Bitcoin, especially if it's going where we think it's going, right? Because if Bitcoin does this, goes up, comes down, it's gonna put in wave 2, and it goes wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. No, yeah, Bitcoin's going to put in, very likely, Bitcoin puts in a much larger retracement than Ethereum. Okay, much larger retracement. So that's interesting. Okay, let's move on. So that was Ethereum. Hopefully, you guys are getting value from this. I know I am. It's giving me ideas. It's giving me a lot of ideas. Okay. Interesting. So Blur token starting to break out. A lot of things are starting to break out. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, starting to break out. Nice. All right. What were we on? We just did Ethereum. Now we're on HBAR. Okay. HBAR. Okay, here's the same kind of analysis. This is an M-top. We look and see if we can't find a neckline. We measure the height of the pattern down to the neckline, superimposed from the site of breakdown. Okay, in this case, we're a little short. Okay, we would have, had we done this in this case, and I think this is good because it shows you that it's not 100%. Breakdown from this M top, and you get close to a base, but you came down a lot more, right? In HBAR. HBAR was much weaker than that. It came down maybe 46% more than this target. So it looks like if you were doing the technical analysis, this would break down here, and then this is the end of the bear market, but then you kept going. Brutal. Okay. All that means is, one, this pattern analysis stuff isn't 100%. It's not 100%. I don't think there are many things in technical analysis that are 100%. But two, this is likely you're the scene of the crime, where you're likely to go, and because you've broken down more than it seems you should have, you're likely to go up higher and faster, just to compensate, just to balance that large retracement. So I could see H bar coming up about 300% back to the scene of the crime up here. Okay, so that's H bar. Okay, what did I just do? Sorry about that. Okay, so that's H bar Hedera hash graph. Chain link, it's coiling. You know, this coiling, this consolidation leads to beautiful things. I know it sucks, it's annoying, but it leads to beautiful things. The next major resistance is going to be up here at the base of this M top. So right here. I believe this is a good way to try either this or... Yeah, probably this is better. This is better. Right? So, I think about... Yeah, you can't expect too much from Link yet. About 30, 35, 40% before it sees its next major resistance. Then consolidating at resistance. Once Link gets out of this whole thing, I think it'll do much better. But it's still kind of going to put in some modest gains, I think, based off of this analysis. Okay, lit entry. Okay, very clearly the top of the range right here is your next major resistance. You're still not at the top of the range. You're still kind of hidden or stuck below the midline of the range. So you need about 60% to get to the top of the range. Okay, Litecoin. So here, let's erase this. You're already at, so, okay, very much like Bitcoin, Litecoin is ahead of the game. Not very many things are at this area or at this level. So you can see Litecoin broke down. Okay, let's just test this because I'm interested in this for the next bear market. You got to prepare. You got to, you know, make sure next time it comes, you're prepared for what the breakdowns can look like. So you're buying optimally. Okay, so here, in this case, you how do you say? You're showing strength. You're showing considerable strength. Based off of the height of this M top, the pattern should have been all the way down here. Okay, at 26. So Litecoin came shy of this. So again, take home is pattern analysis isn't all it's cracked up to be in terms of the targets, right? Your targets are not always 100% accurate. So just keep that in mind if you're using it. So we came shy of that, showing a lot of strength. We came back up to the neckline, which a lot of things are currently doing right now, right? And now we retraced and we're about to break this neckline. So in my estimation, and I've said this before, Litecoin is going into price discovery very soon. Because once you break this, what's your next target? For that, let's go on a higher time frame chart. I have one, but not in this watch list. So let's quickly go into our Litecoin chart with a lot of data. It's over here somewhere. Okay. So this is the most data we have on Litecoin on this chart. And this is what we use. Okay. So according to this, the next likely target for Litecoin has got to be up here. It's got to be up here. All the way up here. So that would be about 190% up. Okay? 190% up. Right? You can see that. Yeah, 190% up. I could see us putting a wave 1. Okay, so basically this is the wave 1 that I think that this bull market is going to be consisting of. Yeah? So again, Elliott wave theory is fractal. So if this wave 1 is true, then it's going to be consisting of 5 waves in and of itself. So something like this. Maybe like this. Maybe like that. Maybe like that. I don't know what the time is going to look like, but I think it's going to take a little less time than this. But yeah, you should go up in 5 waves. I think that first wave is going to hit its head over here around the all-time highs, around $305, and then give you a 3-wave retracement. Okay, and that 3-wave retracement is going to take just as long as it took to get from here to all-time high. So however long it takes to get back to all-time high is what you can expect the retracement to take if it's a wave 1, wave 2 situation. I think Litecoin's in that it's in that situation. Okay, this is something we've put in many months ago, but I still think it's accurate and valid. In terms of timing, again, I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think it's going to take us to September to finish this out. I think it's going to happen much faster. Much, much faster. Okay, whatever. Something like that. Okay, so that's Litecoin. Let's go back. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. MOVR. This has been moving quietly. I've been watching it. I've been watching all of my assets, but this has been moving quite nicely and forming a very nice rounded bottom. What do we know about rounded bottoms, rounded tops? They denote extremes, right? The ends of moves, the beginnings of moves. This is a textbook rounded bottom. You break out from this, your next likely target is probably my alarm, where I put my stops into profit, make it a free trade. And then, let's see. Yeah, that's all I have in terms of support and resistance here. Okay, I think you come up here, consolidate, come up here, consolidate, and then it's price discovery essentially, right? Because I see a lot of resistance here, and then a lot of resistance once again here, and then that's it, pretty much. Obviously there's some resistance here, but I don't see any significant resistance to yeah, just a bit of resistance at these areas right there. So that's MOVR. I think the next significant resistance is about 40% up, and then after that about 140% up. Okay, Harmony 1. Okay, let's try this again. And guys, this is how you backtest. Like, in going over all of these altcoins during the weekdays, I'm not just, checking on my positions, but when I do all of this stuff and I go through asset by asset, it's also a way to backtest. And when you backtest things like pattern breakdowns, right? M-top breakdowns, you get a good idea as to how reliable, how accurate that method of analysis is, right? As you can see, I've been doing this pattern breakdown for most of these altcoins that have had significant or sufficient market data to do so. And more often than not, the pattern target of the breakdown is quite accurate, telling you almost exactly the bottom of the bear market. So how many people have told you it's impossible to predict the bottom of the bear market? It's possible to know. You can't know. This is why a lot of people, they can't even win, because they start from a place where they think it's impossible to win. But why you study all of this price action, this TA, because you learn what's possible, and you learn how likely it is. You learn how accurate it is. You don't have to take anybody's word for it. Then you can trade it. If it wasn't possible, I promise I would not have been able to do what I've done up until now. And I've been really, really, really accurate with really high leverage quite consistently, judging where moves are likely to go. And remember that all of this stuff that you see here in this active trades watch list, they're active trades, and other than like 2 of them, they're all on high leverage, and they're all active, right? You can't do that by accident, and you can't do that by saying it can go up or it can go down. It's not that I'm 100%. It's not that I know exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, but it's that I study price action obsessively. I study technical analysis obsessively, and in doing this show for you on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, I get better. This is how I'm getting better. There's a process to it, and so I'm like showing you what I do to do what I do. I'm not going to tell you how much I'm making, how much I'm trading, but I'm doing well. Just know that. And you can do just as well, if not better. Learn your TA. TA works. It works. I promise you it works. It's possible to do amazing things with technical analysis. Good quality technical analysis. All right. So your next significant resistance would just be back at the scene of the crime, about 222% of the way up here. RSR. Okay, before we do RSR, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Alright, where were we? We were talking about RSR. And looking at targets. Okay, again, look at the neckline here. I would pull it like so. Something like this. I would put it a little lower, like this. Something like this, yeah. Something like this, okay. So again, it's accurate. It's quite accurate. Not in every case, but this is decently accurate. You got the bottom target right here, which would have given you a nice buy signal for RSR. And as a result, your next major resistance is probably all the way up here. Okay. So back at 2.7 cents, which from here is about, wow, that's a 500% move. Okay, that's a 500% move. Looking at something else here. I like that better. I like that better. Let's do that again really quickly. Something like this. Okay, that's even more accurate. Look at that. Look at that. Almost to the penny. Okay. So yeah, I think RSR finds resistance in about 95%, right? At the top of this move right here. Nice. All right, sandbox. Okay, I would do the same thing here. The tricky part about these breakdowns is it may give you a target, but it may not be the target. So in this case, look, sandbox gave you a target, and that was a target right here, but that wasn't the end. Nowhere near the end. You came, hit that target, bounced up a bit, but then kept going down. So that was tough. That was tough. But then again, one could say, perhaps, no, that doesn't work, right? So it's not 100%. It's not 100%. But it gives you some sort of information. And used on enough assets, it gives you enough information to make more good decisions than bad ones. Okay? For sandbox, your next target is all the way up here, in my estimation. 300% up, 316% up. So that one's going to be a runner. That's kind of the second highest one we've seen other than Dent. Okay, SHIB. Let's see. Let's see. I want to take this as... part of me wants to take it higher. No, let's try this. Because I like this and that data point. But I think this is overkill here because that target's definitely too low, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's see. See, like when these print, who's to say exactly what the neckline for the pattern is? That's the tough part. Okay, I think this would be a smart thing to do because you have quite a lot of data right here. I think it's all about touch points. How many touch points shows you how reliable that data point is, or that trend is. So here you have so many data points with this move up and back above the resistance. So I would think that this was a good one, and you know, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. It gave you the initial break, so it gave you that initial bounce almost to the penny right here. So I like that. Okay, and by that same virtue, SHIB should go up a lot. 300%, 310% from here. Okay. Synthetics. This always does really well. Let's see. Something like this. From the top all the way to the neckline. Superimposed from the breakdown. Ooh, to the penny. To the penny. Had you been in synthetics and you've done the pattern analysis, you would have been able to buy the bottom of the bear market to the penny. Awesome. Now, back to the scene of the crime. It's about 200% of the way, 210% of the way up. Okay, so that's synthetics. That's my next significant resistance for synthetics. Telcoin. This is a cup and handle if I've ever seen one. This is the cup. That's the handle. Okay. The pattern target is just eyeballing it, going to be up here somewhere. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is the neckline I want to draw because I have this as resistance, that as resistance, this is support. So to me that makes the most sense. Let's test it from the top here. Break down. Yes, it gives me the bottom of the bear market almost to the penny right here. Yeah. So if I'm coming back up to the scene of the crime for Telcoin, I'm getting about 300% up. Okay, 300%. Tron, one of my favorites. Ooh, yes. I cannot wait for this to run. This is going to really, I mean, Justin Sun is how you say it in Chinese. Sun, I think. He's going to be one of the richest people in the world if his money's all accounted for. I don't know if he's going to properly account for it, but the way Tron is likely to move, there's no reason. Because, I mean, he's already a billionaire, multi-billionaire. I mean, his network may realistically multiply by hundreds. Okay, so Tron, I think this is simple pattern analysis, you know? We don't have too much data, but given this simple pattern analysis, you're targeting the triangle, right? The top of the triangle as your next major resistance. So it's going to be around 156% of the way up. Vet. Okay, so let's do the breakdown here. Okay, this is my neckline that I like. It gives me the most data. Let's test it. the head. Okay, that gives me almost down to the penny, the bottom of the bear market. So that's a really, really reliable breakdown indicator. And by virtue of that, we can see that a break back up to the scene of the crime is about 400% of the way up for VeChain. Okay, XRP, a lot of people's favorite. This looks to me, first thing that jumps out at me is this is a W pattern. Okay, and the breakout target is the height of the W, right? So let's see. Using the same methodology that we've been using. I want to say that my neckline is up here. Okay, because I have this is resistance, this is resistance, this is support, and this is support. And everything else is just a strong wick. So I would take... obviously, for those of you thinking, I agree that it's all easy in hindsight to just throw lines on and then, you know, look at confirmation that you can already see. It's much more challenging to do before all of this is printed. I understand that. But this is why you practice. This is why you test, back test. This is why you examine these and study these things so that you can do them before they happen. And you can gain an edge and you can make a ton. You can be super profitable. Okay. So that breakdown is it's okay. It's not 100% accurate, but it's close. It's close. The scene of the crime is all the way back up here in my estimation, and we're not far from it. Okay, I think we're about 34% away, and that doesn't surprise me because XRP has moved quite considerably already, right? It was moving before everything else was moving, and once it gets to the top here, it consolidates again and it breaks, then it really flies. Once it breaks that resistance, it really flies. So this is what I'm seeing on XRP. Last but not least, Zilliqa. Okay, so we're going to do this as the neckline. It's going to be something like this. Okay, and so like Litecoin, like Bitcoin, like what else? Litecoin, Bitcoin. I think there was one other asset in our watch list that was at the neckline, at the scene of the crime. Zilliqa is likely to go mental. Okay, the next likely resistance is going to be in the area, in the region of all-time high, which is all the way up here. So do not be surprised if of all of the assets, Zilliqa, Litecoin, what's the other one? Bitcoin, do 500-600%, right? Zilliqa, I'm seeing 600%. Okay, so I think it's gonna do really well. And here we may have a type of wave 1, wave 2 situation. Trying to catch it. Whatever, something like this. Okay, so maybe you get this wave 3 and it's an extended wave 3 and it comes up to the 3382. Okay, so that's... I would not be surprised if you got that in Zilliqa because it's already at the neckline of the breakdown. So broke down from the scene of the crime. This was the scene of the crime. This was the breakdown. Okay, the bear market actually started up here because you had this 1, 2, 3 wave, this B wave that came all the way up to make your flat correction. So this is your A wave, this is your B wave, and that's your C wave. That's 3, 3, 5 flat correction. That's the bear market. This is the consolidation reversal, right? This is the accumulation period. Now you're breaking out of that, and next stop is the scene of the crime, which is about what, 5 to 600% away. So Zilliqa is going to be really nice going up there. Is it going to get up there like, you know, in a few days? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's going to take a little time. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. It could take a week. It could take a few days. I have no idea. I have no idea. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let's just have a quick peek at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance is still where we left it. We said it was going to probably reject at this level because it's at strong resistance, which it's doing. Let's see the DXY, if we can pull it up. Where is it? Here it is. Let's zoom in. Oh, wow. Okay. This is new. Look at that. So the DXY is putting in these really funny, like, shitcoin-like wicks. Look at this. Here, let's fix the screen. Let's fix the screen. Do you see this? This is not the first time. Look, it did that. They're really, I mean, they're struggling. The dollar is struggling. Right? It did that, where? Wow, this one's the biggest one yet. It did it over here. Okay? But smaller versions of it. Look at that. Would you look at that? Like, are you kidding me? Okay, it did that a few times. I don't know why I can't see it properly now. Sometimes you look at a chart so much, you're not sure what you're looking at anymore. Yeah, I think it was this. It was this, and then that. But none of these have anything on this. Like, are you kidding me? Like, did that just happen? Like, that move happened so quickly. Okay, so what's likely to happen? Because we've seen this before. I'm going to say, just based off of how this chart is printed recently, what you're likely to see is, so this is an initial breakup structure. Basically, it's showing you where it wants to go and how it wants to get there. And what it's going to do is it's going to put in something like this. So it's going to go up, down, up. It did that on a smaller time frame here. Okay? Like this. So I think it's going to do something like that. Then pivot or whatever. So if this is, let's see, this is initial break. This is, it's probably going to do something like this, or maybe this was already done right here because you came up, right? So not exactly sure how this is going to work. Maybe it does something like this. Maybe it's already put in. Then it does something like this again, does something like this again, pivots, and then finally goes down. But volatility, massive volatility for the DXY. What I like is, despite all of that happening, you have Bitcoin still staying the course, holding steady, continuing its uptrend. It's very, it's Bitcoin right now, as I explained during the beginning of the stream, it's doing something very important. It's breaking back into a 10-year channel. So it's going to take its time. It's going to do it, relatively slowly. But it didn't overreact to the DXY putting in that super volatile move. I don't expect it. If it didn't react to that, didn't overreact to that, I don't expect it to overreact and just break down and do all that stuff. I expect it to slowly matriculate up and in. And that was at the beginning of the stream, so let me just flash back really quickly to what I'm talking about, where I was talking about it. And for those of you who missed it, here it is. Okay, this entire channel is Bitcoin since 2013, so that's about a 10-year channel, yeah, until present day. And we lost that in the bear market, and we were gaining it back, and this is consolidation at resistance. So this is why everything's so slow, and once we break back into this, we can expect price to move more quickly. The good thing is we've already started that break into the zone. Okay, we're already moving. The train's already moving. Okay, and it's en route. So I don't expect it to take too long. The breakout from this small little consolidation, 20-day consolidation, has already happened. Okay, but you know, despite what the DXY does, I think Bitcoin will continue to make that happen. Okay, obviously when it breaks back into it, we all know it has to retest it as support, because that's what happens when you break significant resistance. You have to retest it as support, so do expect that. All right, that's it for me, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.